So I have been using Linux for a while, and I've had various adventures in trying to game with Linux. And so I guess part of what I figured would be a fun idea is kind of doing a retrospective, kind of like the things that I've run across and different things. So it's mostly individual software. And so for the first bit, oh, we're at the top of the news page. Heh. So PlayOnLinux was a application that was very, very popular for running Windows games on Linux. So it's kind of probably about the only one that had like pre-built scripts that would kind of like guarantee, air quotes, that your games would actually run, kind of like Lutris. And Lutris has kind of taken the place of it now, but PlayOnLinux was the one that like everyone used. Kind of initially started in 2007, and then of course Lutris came along and kind of later on down the road. But what it would do is, unlike Lutris, you'd have to like reinstall Steam for every prefix, so it worked a lot the same way as Lutris, in that it would create a wine prefix for it and go from there. They've had, and apparently it's still updated, the version 5 of it, so you can still get that an updated one if you really want to. But it's got a lot of different software in it, and this is basically one of the only ways you'd be able to run KOTOR and stuff like that. I believe, if I remember correctly, they used Python scripts to make everything work. And they did more than just games as well. So they had like Office applications, so you could like install Microsoft Office from it or Adobe and what have you. And it would basically just work in less of the Todd Howard sense. So let's see if we can find the script for it. So yeah. Oh, it used bash scripting. I think they had initially done it in Java, I think. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it would run everything. So like about, what, 6+ years ago, I had used it to install Fallout New Vegas. So you can see like the whole lineup of all the games that are possible to install with it. And I think Lutris's list is much bigger. And because PlayOnLinux is targeted toward just Windows games, that's all it really did was Windows games. So you had to stick with that pretty much. So, and you even had GOG games that it did too, and it checked checksums and whatnot during that point until Lutris came along, of course, and included it, integrated into it. So it had some of my favorites like Total Annihilation and stuff like that. So that was basically your one way back pre Lutris that you had to do that. Let me see. I'm going to do lutris.net. Do we have a wiki page? Yeah. Why so slow? So yeah, no, not stable release. Yeah, in 2013. So for about 6 years, PlayOnLinux was kind of the prime way to do it. Otherwise, you're installing games straight through Wine, which I have done. So you'd basically what you had to deal with. Oh, that's why I'm updating in the background. That's why it's running slow, somewhat. Oh, what? Oh, .org. Okay, so basically, if you wanted to know how well your game ran in Wine, you would go to Wine HQ and you would check, where was it? The AppDB on Wine HQ. And then you would basically go from there. And sometimes you'd have to do some finicky things to get stuff working and whatnot. But you generally had a pretty good idea of how well things ran. And then, yeah. So it was between Wine or PlayOnLinux that you basically had for quite a while in order to get your game, like Windows games, running. And I had used that a little bit and things like that. And that's just kind of like that short little blurb there. Of course, PlayOnLinux relied on Wine, so it would run the tweaks automatically for you, a lot like Lutris does now. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Algorithm really seems to like that, and it actually helps it get directly out to more people. And you can even join the chat and interact when I'm not online or what have you in Discord, Guilded, XMPP, and check out my streaming stuff. Links are all in the description places, and I will see you guys later.